Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the We Were Athletes Once podcast. Yes, we've made it 13 episodes, guys. I can't believe it. Uh, I am Kyle. I am joined, as always, by Cody.
What's up?
Um, and we're talking about something besides football. I
It's been
can't.
a minute.
I know. With uh, with my move and with me being sick quite a bit and just different schedule moves, we haven't really been able to talk about baseball at all. And now's as good a time as any. We have about 2 weeks left in the season. Uh, I believe every team has about 3 or 4 series left, so 10 to 12 games.
Yep.
Um, and we're getting close to playoffs. Uh, it's been a very up and down season for me in terms of my enjoyment. Um, there's been a lot of things that I've enjoyed and a lot of things that I haven't. And by a lot of things that I haven't, I mean our team. Uh,
Yeah, it's not been great.
yeah. Cody, what are your thoughts on this MLB season?
Yeah, I think as a baseball fan in general, it hasn't been the most exciting season for me. There's been some historic things, which we'll talk about today, that have happened. But when I think about what I originally thought from this season, like there's some teams that thought were going to be good that just haven't been. And anytime your team has had such a rough year, like not standings wise necessarily, but just consistency of play. When one thing goes right, the other goes wrong, and then like seven other things go wrong. So as a Cardinals fan, it hasn't been amazing, um, but I am excited for playoff baseball, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. So basically, how this episode is going to go is we're going to talk real quick about the playoffs and how we see things looking as the playoffs start. Um, we're not really going to go too far into what they might look like going into it, I think, because spoiler alert, almost everything I think is probably going to stay the same as it is right now.
Got a few changes.
We have a few changes, but for the most part, what you see is what you get. And we are also, to my chagrin in some cases, we're going to make award predictions. Um, And the reason why it's to my chagrin, even though I was the one that brought up this idea, is because there's some awards that I'm still not fully convinced on.
You got to
Um,
say it with your chest, have conviction, like I did weeks
I,
and weeks ago.
I don't have that conviction. Some of them I do. Some of them, yikes. Uh, so yeah, let's talk about the playoff picture. And we can go ahead and start with the National League because the National League already has two teams that are at least locked into the playoffs. We are, just so you guys know, we are recording this on Tuesday night. This is coming out on Thursday, but we are recording this on Tuesday night. And so, as of the recording of this episode, the Brewers and the Phillies have both made the playoffs. They haven't clinched their divisions yet, but they will. I don't believe they've clinched their divisions yet, have they? Maybe they have.
I don't know. The Brewers haven't. The Phillies might have. They're 12 up, so they
Yeah,
should be like
they
right at that threshold.
because I see an X and a Y uh,
So yeah,
on the MLB app. So I'm
I bet
assuming
the Phillies have clinched the
they're
division.
if they haven't yet, they're going to. They're practically guaranteed to win their
The
divisions.
Mets aren't catching them.
The Mets aren't catching them. The Cubs aren't catching the Brewers. Um,
No, they don't have games in hand, so there's no chance.
so yeah, and I also strongly believe that the Brewers and the Phillies. Again, I don't think it's mathematically possible for them to not be the 1 and 2 seed. It's mathematically possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I
Yeah,
think.
it would take a collapse from Milwaukee, and Chicago would have to go on a run. That's the only way.
Well, I'm even thinking about like in the 1 and 2 seeds, like the Dodgers are six
Oh
games
no, the
back
Dodgers. Yeah, the Dodgers are
from
five and
the
a half or
Phillies.
six back. Yeah,
Yeah, they're 5.5 back, I think, from the Phillies, who are currently the 2 seed. Maybe the Phillies and the Brewers could switch because there's only a 2.5 game difference between them. But these are going to be the 1 and 2 seeds. These are going to be the teams that have the buys.
Spoiler alert: I have the Phillies taking the 1 seed.
Really?
I do. I like the matchups that they have remaining, um, and I think they're hot at the right time. Now, as of this moment, they are. Let me just double check that nothing has changed. Oh, Watts has Watts has changed. Um, as of 5 minutes ago, Shohei went 5 shutout innings, no hit, and then we got on, and I just checked the score, and in the top of the sixth, the Phillies have put 6 on the board to take the lead. So um, they were down 3 or 4 to nothing. They're now up 6-4. But I think Philly is going to take it. Their remaining matchups that they have are the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, and the Twins. Um, you know, Arizona's still kind of fighting for a spot. I don't see it happening. Um, Miami, while playing pretty solid baseball, even though they've been out for a while, still
Since the
not a
season began.
super talented team. And the Minnesota Twins are a AAA team at this point. So even though they have pushed the Yankees the last couple of games, but I don't know. I just like the Phillies matchups. Um, as opposed to Milwaukee, who's playing St. Louis, who I don't know what they are, and I watch them almost nightly. Um, they like to be awful and then fantastic on back-to-back days, so you never know what you're getting with them. But they've got the Angels, which they should beat, but they've got Cincinnati, who's been fighting hard to keep their hopes alive, and they have San Diego, and I think San Diego is one of the best teams in baseball right now. So based on what's left, I have Philly overtaking Milwaukee for that 1 seed.
My only thing with the Phillies is I think it's going to be hard for them to do it without Zach Wheeler. Like that's the thing.
Yes, I don't.
I think they're still a really good team. Obviously, they've already like I said, we've said they've already clinched the playoffs, but and they've been really good as of late. They're 8-2 in their last 10,
They look
so
good.
they've been going on a run. I It's just so hard for me to believe that they're capable of doing anything without their best pitcher, and he is their best pitcher. I don't want to hear anyone talk about Aaron Nola. Zach Wheeler is their best
No,
pitcher.
Zach Wheeler has been their proven, tried and true number one. Um, Aaron Nola was always a 1B, 2 to Zach Wheeler, in my opinion.
And it
Um,
does help them that they have a 1B, a 1C, a 1D
I mean,
in that
that's
rotation.
why like their pitching is deep. So I'm not as concerned. I think if the playoffs started today, I don't think Zach Wheeler's in the starting rotation.
Well, I don't think Zach Wheeler is pitching again this year.
Is he out for good?
I think he had surgery for thoracic outlet syndrome.
Ooh, you never want TOS. That's always.
Yeah.
I
It's,
mean, for
I,
those of you who don't know that, oh my gosh, now I'm Steven Strasburg. Just think about that career and how it was completely derailed from what he was.
I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, Steven Strasburg is kind of the most recent
The
one, but
most recent one.
Matt Harvey is a big
Yeah,
example. I still remember Chris Carpenter in his last season
yeah, it was
having
bad. I don't know, dude.
pitching like 20-ish innings
The
after that.
fact that Chris Carpenter pitched period after that just proves. I mean, he's one of the toughest human beings on this planet. Like that was
Yeah.
insane.
So I think he'll pitch
Yeah, he's
again.
going a week from today. He's having that surgery. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so he's not pitching again this season. He'll pitch again at some point. Hopefully he can overcome this, but it's a
um,
tough injury.
the real question is, I don't. Sorry, I knew Zach Wheeler wasn't pitching. In my mind, I'm still thinking Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is not going to be in the starting rotation come playoff time. He's had injury setbacks, and he's been bad. Like they're going to be relying on other guys.
Yeah, Christopher Sanchez,
Who's
Ranger.
been very good. Ranger
Taiwan
has been
Walker has
very
pitched
good.
really well lately too.
Yeah. So they still have a fighting chance, in my opinion. But that definitely hurts. No Nola, no Wheeler. So it's going to be a lot of relying on the bats come playoff time.
Yeah. What else? How else do you see the playoffs looking going
The
forward?
National League, I'll just go down my 1 through 6 for you.
Okay.
I have Philly overtaking Milwaukee. Then I have Milwaukee, and then I have the Dodgers. I have those three holding on to win the divisions. The four, I have the Cubs. They're like 5 games up on the Padres, so I think it would be almost impossible to catch them. And then I have the Padres, and then I have the Mets hanging on, but I think it's going to get interesting. And I don't think it's going to be from Arizona. I think San Francisco is going to be who makes it interesting. Their final 3 series are the Dodgers, which is tough, but it's always a rivalry series, so they always play better against the Dodgers. And Drew Gilbert looks amazing, and I know you hate that. Um, but then they have St. Louis and Colorado, who are very beatable teams. So I think them being 2.5 back of the Mets, and the only reason I have the Mets holding on is because their last series are Washington, Chicago, and Miami. And I think Chicago is going to be in a place where they can kind of pack it up at the end of the season, give some extra off days, maybe get their rotation right for what they want it to look like, skip a guy's start, have someone spot start or bullpen it together. So do think the Mets will hold on, but I think San Francisco is going to give them a run for their money. I think Arizona's they got Philly, San Diego, and LA. They're not winning those to get back in it. And then Cincy, I think, is just too far back. I think their loss today to the Cardinals kind of put their nail in their coffin.
I would like to point out it's not a playoff thing, but I would like to point out the Rockies not out of the woods yet in tying the worst record in MLB history. They
No, they need one more win.
they would need to go 0-12, but it's doable for the Rockies. Just
And
saying.
they just scored a run in the bottom of the ninth to make it 6-4 that they are now losing only by 2. But Brent Doyle also had a nasty catch out in center field to rob someone today. I don't even know who it was, but it was a nasty catch.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In terms of the National League playoff picture, I have it exactly how it is right now, which it's exactly how you have it. Just
Except one and two.
I think the
Houston St.
Brewers are going to hold on. Um, I just think the Brewers are one of the most complete teams. I think they're one of the best coach teams, and unless they pack it in early and they decide, you know what, we're already guaranteed a bye. Like we're not gonna care that much about the 1 seed. We'll take whatever matchups we can get. I think if they're trying it in the last series or two of the season, then they're gonna hold on.
Yeah.
Um,
Now the AL is a little more interesting. So as we sit right now, our division leaders are Toronto, Detroit, and Seattle. But Seattle's only a half game up on Houston. And with Houston winning tonight and Boston losing, um, New York is currently the 4 seed, Houston the 5, and Boston the 6. Cleveland's 2.5 out, and Texas is 3.5 out. I don't see either of those making a run.
yeah, and Boston is only a half a game behind Houston right now.
Yes. Um, this one I think is going to be interesting down to the wire because Seattle and Houston are a half game apart for that division lead, and I think whoever wins, I mean, obviously whoever wins that's going to be the 3 seed. I think whoever loses that is going to be the 5 seed. Boston has a pretty tough schedule. Tampa, Toronto, and Detroit to end the season, so that's going to be a little tough. Um, and Houston ends after they play Seattle. They've got the A's and the Angels. So you kind of got a nice little cakewalk into the playoffs. Um, but Seattle also has Colorado and KC, who's been struggling. So I think whoever wins that series between Houston and Seattle is going to be the division winner.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think it's going to look almost exactly the same as it does right now. I think, like you said, the only things that I think will change or could change is who wins the AL West and the 5 and the 6 seed. Like I think Boston is either going to have the 5 or 6 seed, and the winner of that, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they could be. I think they probably will have the 6 seed, but I wouldn't be shocked if they finish with the 5.
I mean, at this
Um,
point, you're a half game out. Anything's possible. I just think that based on schedule and based on how Houston and Seattle's playing, I just see Boston not being able to make up enough ground.
um, I was coming into this fully expecting to say that it's going to look exactly the same again. I actually, as the longer we go, I actually think there is a pretty strong chance that Houston and Seattle might swap. As of right now, like you said, they're a half game back, and the Mariners won today to give them a 10 game win streak. So they needed to go on a run to get to this point. And the Astros have been playing good baseball too. They're 6-4 in their last 10, but I think the Astros have just been the more consistent team, and I think that probably bodes well or bodes better for me than the Mariners, who I believe went on a couple long win streaks at this point this season.
I'm
Um,
not betting against that pitching.
yeah, that's true, but you also can't really bet against the pitching of the Astros either. Um, and again, I think the one thing that might hurt the Astros is Joe Espada came out today and said that they will be without Jordan for uh,
A
probably
while.
the rest of the season.
Yeah, he said
If
a
you're
while, and
yeah,
that sounds to me like he's done.
if you're saying for he's out for a while on September 15th, September 16th, then
You're
I
hoping for an
don't imagine.
NLCS or World Series comeback at best.
Yeah. So that might be the only thing that is kind of putting a damper on Houston's chances, but they're still going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, I don't think there's going to be any changes with who is there, but yeah, so we basically have it looking the same, maybe just with a couple little
Okay.
tweaks in there.
Do you want to do some predictions? Because I wrote my whole playoff bracket out of what I think is going to happen.
Um, I didn't, but we can. Uh, what I said, well, so basically
Hold on, give me your. I can write it out for you. 6, 3, 5.
so my predictions,
So who
it's
was your six?
my 6 was Boston.
Okay, and your three.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna swap it. I think uh my 6 is gonna be Seattle, and my 3 is gonna be
Ooh.
Houston, only because I think it would be fun to have Astros, Mariners, and Yankees,
I
Red Sox.
don't. Oh, and then so Yankees 4, Red Sox 5.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Um, and then on the NL,
I have it exactly the same as it is right now. So I have
so
Brewers, Phillies.
Mets, Dodgers. You really planned this one out. And then Cubs, Padres.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Walk me through your round one. You've got Seattle and Houston.
Yeah, and it's tough for me because the Astros at this point have the playoff experience, and I think that's super important. Like, I believe the Mariners have still only won one playoff series in the 2000s, or two playoff.
It's
No,
not a
one
lot.
playoff. They didn't win one in 2001, did they? The year they won 114 games.
I, Uh, no, the Yankees beat them.
Yeah. So
Actually,
I don't believe they did. I think
maybe
they
I'm
went to
wrong.
the ALCS in the Ken Griffey Jr. the year Ken Griffey Jr. ended up scoring on the double by A-Rod, I think it was, to clinch the series win. Either
No,
way,
they
I
won
think
one. They beat the Indians.
in 01, because I know
Yes.
they won one in 22, and I think that was the only one, 22 or 23. Point being,
Yeah,
we're
they
talking about
lost to
a
the Yankees
team.
in this. Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about a team that's won two playoff series since the turn of the century versus a team that's won two World Series and has been to the last seven of the last eight, I think, ALCSs.
But do they get
Um,
trash cans or
they
a
haven't
Summerfield camera? Just
since
throwing it out there.
at
Have
latest
they won?
2019. No, they won in 22. They
Oh, okay, my bad.
so
All
we
right, so
have
who you
20.
taking? Who you
I
taking?
think I think I'm going to pick Houston. I think that playoff experience it really matters. I desperately want to see the Mariners do something in the playoffs. I desperately do.
You're gonna
I've
like me in the
said
playoffs better than yours.
I've said this whole time. My dream World Series scenario right now is the Mariners and the Padres. It's
You're
not
gonna
going to
like
happen.
my
But
playoffs
that's
better
my
than yours.
dream
That's all I
scenario.
got to say.
Um,
Okay, then you got Boston and Houston, or Boston and New York.
yeah, I think I'm going to pick Boston.
Yeah, I don't like New York in the playoffs. I don't like
It's
their pitching.
I
I don't
can't
like their team in general outside of Judge.
I can't trust the bullpen. I don't know if I can trust the rotation not having Garrett Cole.
No.
And I mean they still have been having issues with their defense on the left side of the infield. Ryan McMahon hasn't looked as good as you'd ideally like him to, considering he's been a Gold Glove caliber third baseman for his entire career. Right now, the Yankees have Jose Caballero starting at shortstop.
He's
Anthony
been playing
Volpe.
decent though.
Yeah, but if you're not relying on Anthony Volpe there, I think that is just
You got to be able to hit
really
the
a
ball.
bad omen for what's to come. You still don't know what you're getting from Aaron Judge playing defense. They're in the process of trying to start putting him back in right field and having some creative cuts. Uh, I think they've had Jazz go out a lot farther and do some double cuts to home. I think Trent Grisham may have even got in there, or the center, whoever's playing center field at the time, may have even gotten in there at some point. I don't know. It's all weird. I don't like it, and I don't know if I can trust the Yankees.
All right. Well, based on that, then the one seed who you have is Toronto would play Boston, and the two seed Detroit would play Houston. So, who you like?
Um, I, in terms of Detroit and Houston, I think that is probably the extent of how much I can factor in the Astros playoff experience because I think the Detroit Tigers haven't shown me any reason to believe they can't win any series they want to. I have the Detroit Tigers going to the ALCS.
That sounds weird to say, doesn't it?
I know.
Because they've been bad for so long.
Yeah.
All
It
right,
is.
then we got Boston Toronto. We just got all that division matchup. You got
Yeah.
Boston New York, then Boston Toronto.
Yeah. Um, Gosh, I really don't want to go chalk here.
Hey, go chalk. I'm not.
Um, Gosh, Boston and Toronto. It's tough whenever I haven't mapped this out in advance.
Mhm.
I think I'll just be wild. I think I'm gonna go Boston.
You just got a feeling about them.
I have, yeah.
You
I
like the young kids.
I like the young kids. I like what the back end of the bullpen has been able to do for Boston. They have a legit ace. They have a strong rotation in general. And they have just everything that I need from a team to be able to go in a deep playoff run this year, and a deep playoff run.
Yeah. Well, you've got a CS now. You've got Detroit and Boston. Either way, it feels weird.
I know. I There was a time where I didn't even think that Boston was going to make the playoffs.
And then you
That's
have them going to the World Series.
uh, hold on. This I have to really take a look at the team right now. Um, I think I think I'm gonna go with Boston. I don't like it.
Is that your final answer?
I don't like anything about how that feels, but I think I'm going with the Red Sox going to the World Series.
Wow, the 5 seed going.
I
Okay.
don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I
All
don't
right, so
I have no conviction on that.
recap. Kyle has Seattle and Houston in the first round and Houston winning. He has Boston and New York in the first round and Boston winning. In the second round, he's got Boston and Detroit, or Boston, Houston and Detroit, and Houston losing, and Detroit advancing to the CS. Boston and Toronto, and Boston advancing, and then for your ALCS, you have Boston beating Detroit to get to the
Who are
World Series.
you? Okay. I saw a guy named Connolly early on the Red Sox rotation, and I've never heard of this dude in my life. And that got me scared for a second. But then I see he's hasn't pitched a lot, but he's pitched well in his not a lot. One game, or two games, I don't know. I'll live with it. And the reason why I like the Red Sox pitching staff a lot better than I like the Tigers pitching staff.
I mean, you like both of their aces, and then what's after that?
I
It's
like
kind
both
of
of their aces. I like the depth of the pitching staff of the Red Sox, especially if you're not relying on Jordan Hicks, like I was originally thinking they were. But if you look at the back end of the rotation, Aroldis Chapman, Garrett Whitlock, and Steven Matz have all
pretty
been
solid.
pitching really well. Um, they have Garrett Crochet, Brian Bayo, and Lucas Giolito. Even Stephen or Dustin May, I don't know how long he's going to be hurt, but I believe he's pitched well with the Red Sox. Uh, I don't trust Jack Flaherty and Casey Mize to be a 2-3 in a playoff series. I don't. And it feels so freaking weird to say the Red Sox are going to the World Series, but that's what I'm saying.
All right,
I've convinced myself.
all right. Well, let's jump over the NL then for you.
Oh, you don't want to do your AL right now?
You want me to do AL
You
first?
do AL, and we'll.
All right. So for me, my 6-3 matchup is Boston at the 6 and Seattle hanging on to the 3. And I have Seattle's pitching outlasting Boston and advancing
So my World Series,
out in the first round. Yeah.
out in the first round. My World Series or my pennant winner out in the first round.
Hey, guess what? Mine's going to be out in your first round too, so hang in there. And then my 5-4 is Houston and New York. And I don't like anything about New York's pitching. I don't like anything about their defense, really. I think this team is in shambles, and I don't know how they're still hanging on to that 4 seed. And I have Houston beating them, which gives me a matchup of Seattle and Detroit. And surprise, surprise, I'm going to stick with pitching wins World Series. And in the playoffs, and I'm going to keep Seattle advancing. As much as I like Tarek Skubal and think he's the best pitcher in baseball, Seattle is just so deep in that rotation, um, and Munoz has looked good in the back end. So I'm going to stick with Seattle, making it to the ALCS, and they will be taking on the winner of Houston and Toronto. And I just think Houston's too talented. Um, as much crap as I give them, they're good. They know how to win. They've done it consistently. Toronto hasn't, even though they've been the best team in the AL. Um, I think it's going to be like a 7 game series for this one. I like their ads at the deadline. I like some of the stuff that they're doing. Trey Yasevich just came up and looked pretty dominant in his first start. 9 Ks in 5 innings, only gave up 1 hit. So if you can add that into either if you trust him to start or if you're throwing him in as a long reliever, or just some bullpen help, I think that's going to be good. But I think Houston um, and their track record eventually wins out over Toronto, which gives me an ALCS matchup of Seattle and Houston. And guess what? Taking Big Dumper. Let's go, Seattle. This is the year they're getting over the hump. I just like what they have too much. I think the pieces they picked up at the deadline are going to be important and play a huge role. But like I said, this is probably the closest pitching matchup because Houston does have some solid pitching. I'm not betting against those guys in Seattle. It is too good 1 through 5. So I'm taking Seattle to be my AL champions to go to the World Series.
I love that. I have, like I said, I've rooted for the Mariners to make it for a long time. And they've never, when they make the playoffs, they always disappoint. And
Not this time.
just with
They've
how,
never had pitching like this.
didn't they like last year and the year before?
Shh, shh. They're more experienced now. They've learned.
Yeah.
They
Um,
also have a little bit of bats to help their pitching.
I think there are a lot of teams that have pitching. Like I was just looking at the Blue Jays and I forgot how good their pitching staff is.
Yeah,
And they have,
Gosman and just getting Bieber back, like it's going to be tough.
yeah, Bieber,
But
Gossman,
but I
Scherzer,
think
Rios,
that
Bass.
Houston Toronto series is going to go to 7, and I think it's going to be a really good matchup, and I think it's going to come down to that experience of finding a way to win. And Houston's been there and found ways to win for the last decade, so I just see it happening. Now, without Jordan, that makes it a little more difficult, but they've found a way all season with all the injuries they've had. I'm not going to bet against them yet.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So for the NL, for you, your 6-3 matchup is the
The Mets
Mets
and the
and the
Dodgers.
Dodgers. I think I have a feeling I know where we're going with this.
Yeah. How you feel about the Yankees is how I feel about the Mets. Um,
How I feel about the Mets the same way.
maybe to a lesser extent. They
I
have
would
a
take the
lot of,
Mets over the Yankees in a playoff series, though.
I would as well. Juan Soto is even better than I thought he was this year. I saw a stat. Juan Soto is joining Barry Bonds and Jeff Bagwell as the only players either since 2000 or ever to have 40 homers, 30 steals, which I didn't know he had, and 110 walks in a season. When did Juan Soto steal 30 bags?
Since they
Um,
stopped paying attention to him.
yeah. Uh, so I like the Mets offense on paper. I don't like it in practice. And Ryan Helsley has been the worst pitcher in baseball since he got traded.
Imploded.
Uh, I have the Dodgers sweeping the Mets.
Ooh, yeah, probably I would do the same.
Yeah. And then the Padres and the Cubs. I think I have the Padres. And I'm trying to be as as non-biased as I can be because I love the Padres and I hate the Cubs. I just think the Padres are the more complete team of the two, even though they haven't been as like they haven't shown it in their record. Um, I just don't see a world where the Cubs win that series, especially not if they can't rely on Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. So then for you, you kept Milwaukee as your one seed,
Yeah,
correct? So
and so they would play the
you've
Padres.
got the Dodgers and the Phillies, and you've got San Diego and Milwaukee. I can tell you which one Major League Baseball likes better of those two series.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and we're back to a point where I don't know what to do.
Dodgers, Phillies.
I think I have the Dodgers.
Okay.
Um, I I I just am not at a point to where I'm willing to bet on a bet against them in a series without Zach Wheeler and with Aaron Nola being possibly not there. I love their rotation. I love their FU attitude that they have in that clubhouse for the Phillies. I just think the Dodgers are better. And I hate to say that because I want the Phillies to do well too.
I mean, it doesn't hurt when you have a $500 million payroll. So,
Yeah. Um,
and then you've got the Padres and the Brewers. You know who you're going to pick. Just pick them.
I think I'm gonna pick the Padres.
That's exactly what I thought you were going to do.
Um, and again, it goes to playoff experience and the fact that the script writers won't allow anything else. Uh,
To get an LA San Diego
rematch.
yes. It was good last time.
And I also think that is me being biased, not wanting the Brewers to advance farther than they need to because I love how the Brewers look this year. Um, but they do have the playoff experience, and as everything I have good to say about the Brewers, I can say equally about the Padres and then some. I love the back end of their bullpen. They, I think I might like the Brewers rotation a little bit more. Do I? I don't know. It just has I just have a feeling that it's going to be another rematch, and I think this rematch is going to end differently.
So you've got San Diego Padres going to the World Series.
I do.
So for you, that means your World Series is Boston versus San Diego,
The year after it being the Yankees and the Dodgers.
both five seeds.
Yeah. And I do think that makes sense too, because last year was kind of an anomaly having the two one seeds in the World Series, because in the previous years, it's been a lot of wild card teams. Like the year prior, I believe the six seeds were both in the World Series with the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Uh, 2022, I think the Phillies were a wild card team at least. Maybe the Astros too. I can't even remember at this point. But I think we're going back to what we have seen in recent years. I think last year the Yankees and the Dodgers were just too overpowered. Um,
All
but
right,
the
Boston,
back,
San Diego. Who you got winning the World Series? That's the question. I know who you're going to pick.
I think I know who I'm going to pick too
Let me
because
just circle them on my paper.
yeah, well your picture just cut out. Yeah, I do. I think that Mason Miller trade is probably what's going to push it over the edge because you only need 4 innings from your starters from that team, like on that team.
Their bullpen's loaded.
Like they have who am I forgetting besides Mason Miller, Robert Suarez, Adrian Morejon? Uh, who else do they have? Like Their
We're,
bullpen is stacked.
yeah, we're missing one.
I believe we're
Jason
missing an all.
Adam.
Jason Adam. Yeah, we're missing an all-star. No big deal. Um,
Crazy.
Freddie Fermin has really. I think I like the Red Sox position players a little bit more. Especially, I don't know how long Xander Bogaerts is out. Off the top of my head, I don't like Jake Cronenworth being their starting shortstop, uh, or Jose Iglesias for that matter. Um,
Yeah.
but
Their bullpen is so good. I'm looking at it again. Jeremiah Estrada, Wandy Peralta, and Yuki Matsui are also in that bullpen besides those four studs that we named.
yeah, I think Yuki Matsui is the weak link of that bullpen.
And if
It's
you've got six guys that can pitch on any given day with a day in between every game, you don't have to pitch him. Shoot, he might
yeah,
not even be on that playoff team.
it's just so hard for me to bet against this team. It always has been. I thought the Padres were going to beat the Dodgers last year, um, and I think I'm going to ride that train until it goes off the tracks.
All right, well, I don't like to agree with you, so let's see what I did in the NL. So my 6-3, same as yours. Mets, Dodgers, and just like you, I have the Dodgers just spanking the Mets. I don't think it's going to be a series, so we're just going to skip ahead. My 5-4, same as yours as well. San Diego and Chicago. Um, I'm a biased Cardinals fan, but I don't think Chicago's that good. And without having, like, I just don't think they have good enough starting pitching. Their rotation or their bullpen isn't necessarily my favorite. And without Kyle Tucker being Superman on that team, and without Pete Crow Armstrong looking like first half Pete Crow Armstrong, I just don't see them being able to overcome that. So I also have San Diego winning that. Now, my second round matchups are a little different, though, because I have the Phillies overtaking Milwaukee for the 1 seed. So my matchups are Milwaukee and LA, and I think LA is going to steamroll the Brewers.
I don't
Um,
think anyone's going to steamroll the
I
Brewers.
do.
I think it's going to be
I
close.
don't think that offense is good enough. And right now, Mookie Betts is on an absolute heater of all heaters. On his last 21 game on base streak, he's absolutely insane right now. Um,
Which
and
they really need because
they
he's.
need
But
that
prior
desperately.
to that, he had an OPS in the 600s.
Yeah, well, he's caught fire at the right time. And Shohei's going to be starting. He went five shutout, no hit innings tonight. I don't know if he went into the six and gave up runs or if they said he was only going five. So I'm assuming he got pulled. But he went five shutout, no hit innings tonight. He looks nasty. His stuff is filthy, always. Um, so if you've got a Mookie who's hitting out of this world, you've got Otani right there, and that doesn't include every other weapon they have in that lineup. I don't think Milwaukee has even close to enough firepower. They just have to pray that their rotation can hold them, and I don't think they can. So I think Milwaukee might win a game, two if they're lucky, but I don't have them beating the Dodgers. I have the Dodgers in my NLCS, and I don't like the Dodgers, so it pains me to say that. My other matchup was the toughest one, though. Gosh, my nose is so congested. I'm struggling. I know I sound terrible. It's all nasally,
That's
but
been my last how many episodes?
yeah. So bear with us. I think this next matchup is kind of the only good one so far in the NL side, and that's San Diego and Philadelphia. Um, and ultimately, what this comes down to is I don't like Phillies pitching enough to have them beat San Diego. Um, without Nola, without Wheeler, or without Nola 100%, without Wheeler, I just think it's too inexperienced and it's not enough. Without Jose Alvarado in the bullpen, I think that's rough. So I have San Diego and LA as my NLCS, the same as you. And like you, unfortunately, I also have San Diego taking it. Um, I'm picking San Diego because those things that you said. That back in the bullpen, you don't need your starters to go very long, and that's going to be good. LA, I don't know who's going to be healthy and who's going to be able to pitch. It's kind of the story of the last decade of their team. Of starting pitchers are hurt all the time. Who's healthy? Who's available? It seems like right now Yamamoto is going to be good to go. Um, Shohei's going to be good to go. But outside of that, I don't know what's going to be healthy. And I know they've got like 8 guys who it could be. Um, but I don't like the back end of their bullpen as much. So I think late games, you're going to see uh, a Manny Machado take them deep to win a game, one of these, and steal one off of that bullpen. And I think ultimately that's going to be the difference is that bullpen of LA not being able to hold up with San Diego's. And I have San Diego and Seattle
My
as my
dream,
World
my dream
Series
World Series matchup.
matchup, which is for me the number 3 versus number 5. And
So you
those
have
are,
teams that are playing in the wild card series, like two teams that are.
yeah,
You have Seattle winning the
that
division.
was one of my big things. When I look at this, I looked at the matchups, but I also looked at past history. And outside of last year, like you said, almost every year since we've gone to this format, the 1 and 2 seeds have been eliminated almost immediately. That time off has not helped them. It has been a detriment because they've not played in like 2 weeks. Like it's so bad for them. And they're like, oh, well, they can get healthy and they can set up their rotation how they want, and we're going to be good. They need to play. And it showed outside of last year when you just had two super talented teams um, roll through everybody. Like it hasn't happened that way in any of the years until last year since this has been set up. And I think the same thing is going to happen. I do not have the 1 or 2 seed advancing in either division. Now that doesn't feel good me saying it, um, but I think Houston, Toronto, and I think San Diego, Philly are going to be the two best series where a 1 seed can advance. But I like the 3 seeds in the other ones, which leaves me in my World Series matchup. And I've talked about how much I love Seattle's pitching. I love it. It is filthy. Um, but I have San Diego winning it. I have the number 5 seed in the NL, just like you, unfortunately, winning this World Series. I think there's too much veteran experience on that um, in that lineup and in that clubhouse that's going to carry this team, and that back end of the rotation or bullpen. Gosh, struggling now. Back into that bullpen is just so good. When you can shorten games like that, like this feels like an on steroids version of that Kansas City team that won the World Series. They put the ball in play, made teams play defense, ran the bases well, and got their starters to go 6 innings, and then they had 3 guys that were just lights out to end that game. And with San Diego, you can get 4 innings out of your starter, not have to see a third time through the rotation ever, and sometimes not even see him a second time through the rotation to end that game. That's just a weapon that you can't like. It's almost unstoppable.
And I think it's so weird that we both have the Padres winning the World Series because if you look at both of the teams that we have playing them in the World Series, I think I like both the Red Sox and the Mariners as a whole team. I might argue more than the Padres because like as I'm looking at it, like they have a Gold Glove caliber center fielder who can hit in Jackson Merrill. They have a Platinum Glove winning right fielder that can also hit really well in Fernando Tatis Jr. Ramon Laureano has been amazing this year for them. Uh, but like Freddie Fermin has kind of slowed down from when we were saying he was one of the best hitters in the league when he first got to San Diego.
Yeah, he was on
Um,
a tear.
Luis Ariz, I mean, he hasn't been Luis Ariz this year. He's not winning a batting title. I don't like Jake Cronenworth doing anything on the baseball field ever. Uh, Xander Bogarts and Manny Machado, like you know you can trust Manny Machado. Can you trust Xander Bogarts?
You can trust him to hit.
And then the rotation, I don't like either. It's literally just how dirty the back end of that bullpen is. It's not fair.
Is like Michael King got annihilated today. Um, but between Michael King, Nick Pivetta, Dylan Cease, sadly you Darvish, like it's not amazing, but you only have to get 4 innings, and that's the thing. And
And like,
anytime you can do that, you can piece together games.
man, I'm not gonna change it, but like the more I look at this Red Sox team, I think I like them more than the Padres. Oh, I'm gonna stick with it, but
I'm
like
sticking with the Padres.
I don't feel good about it. I
The
really
only
the
thing
Red
that
Sox.
I don't like, the only thing that I think holds San Diego back is if their pitching like just gets lit up the first like 3 innings of a game consistently. Like as long as their starting pitchers can go four, this team's winning the World Series.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said though, Crochet, Bello, and Giolito is a great front end of that rotation, and you're handing the ball off to Garrett Whitlock and Steven Matz as the bridge to the best reliever in baseball this year with Aroldis Chapman. It's, I mean, it's tough for me to not change my pick looking at this team. I'm gonna stick with the Padres, but man, the Red Sox I think are better than we give them credit for.
I no, I think the Red Sox are a good team, and I like their young talent. But if you're going to make that argument, let me make the argument about the team that they're playing in Seattle. They have Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Brian Wu, George Kirby, and Bryce Miller. That is the best rotation in baseball.
I agree, but again, I had them losing just because of their lack of playoff experience, which I do think.
Which is why, like, I just look at that and I go, any one of those guys on any given night can give you a complete game shutout.
I think the Mariners are going to be my 2026 World Series pick.
I
That's
think it's going to be a good year for them to get the experience. I think this offseason, though, they need to go get bats.
yeah, that's true. It will depend on that because I don't think we're going to have another year like this from Cal Raleigh next year.
It's insane. Speaking of Cal Raleigh, as of, I don't know, 2 hours ago, Cal Raleigh is officially broken Mickey Mantle's record for the most home runs by a switch hitter. And he has also tied the Mariners record for most home runs in a season with Ken Griffey Jr. Just think about those names that we're talking about here. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mickey freaking Mantle.
Yeah,
And the name
it's
that goes with it is Cal Raleigh.
what he's doing this year is insane, and that is kind of the bridge that we need to get to our next topic, which is our award predictions. And I want to do the MVP last
Okay.
because I think that is going to be the biggest conversation as the season ends and as we are going into award season.
And I think there's arguments on both the NL and the AL to be had.
Yeah, there is.
So, where would you
And
like
by
to
the way,
start?
the NL one, I absolutely hate that conversation. That is going to need to be had.
I
I
do
absolutely,
too, and I picked someone else over who's actually going to win it, and then I had to change it because I'm like, I'm not going to pick based on what I want to happen. I'm going to pick on base what I think is going to happen. Um, but I think there's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah, I think.
Do you want to start with least important, in my
Yeah, you
opinion?
want to do manager of the year?
Yeah,
Okay. So my
because they're all
manager of the
little
year
robots
picks,
anyway, right?
huh?
They're all little robots controlled by the front office anyway.
Yeah. So for my the man for the manager of the year, I think it always goes to a team that overperforms their expectations,
Yes.
and I think flat out both one seeds qualify in ways that we never expected them to going into the season. And
Okay.
that's why I have their managers winning manager of the year. I think the
Interesting.
National League is going to be Pat Murphy, and I think the American League is going to be John Schneider. Sorry, the Blue Jays are the two seed, aren't they?
No, they're the
The
one
Blues are
seed.
the ones. Yeah. So I have Pat Murphy and I have John Schneider winning. I think
Okay.
AJ Hinch will
Mine.
have some
Okay.
conversation to say about it, and it's probably warranted. But the reason why them over, I have John Schneider over AJ Hinch, is because the Tigers almost made it to the ALCS last year, so we kind of knew they're good. They brought back Jack Flaherty, and I don't think anyone expected the Blue Jays to be the one seed.
I am going to be slightly different. Um, in the NL, I do have Pat Murphy winning it. I think this team has overachieved. I think they always overachieve, though. We always kind of look at the Brewers of like, they're kind of mediocre, but they've got decent pitching and they'll find a way. But I think he has elevated this team. And I think there's an argument to be made for two other people in the NL. I think Craig Counsell is going to get some votes with Chicago. And I think that one of them is a little more surprising, and it's because this team has overachieved so much more than we thought, and they actually look like a a real baseball team, not a great baseball team, but a solid that's almost ready to compete, and
Are
they
you
have
going to go with Tito?
nobody. No, I'm going with Clayton McCullough of Miami Marlins. I think
Okay.
he, I think what he has done with that team and the talent that they have has been shocking. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a bottom feeder, and they are not. They are a competitive baseball team. So I think he's going to get some votes, but I think ultimately you have to make the playoffs and overachieve in order to win this award, which I think is stupid. It should go to the best manager, not the manager that overachieves with their team. Um,
I do
but I
think that's
do,
part of it. I do think that's part
it
of
is. But
what.
I think Pat Murphy earns it on both of those things.
Yeah, and I do think Clayton McCullough will almost 100% be a finalist. I think he will
He
get
has to be.
votes, and I think because I do think people will appreciate that, especially with coming off of having pretty big shoes to fill with them just
Yeah.
getting rid of Skip Schumacher for no reason. Um, I don't think Craig Counsell will get a whole lot of votes because
I
I
mean,
think
I am a huge Tito fan. I love me some Terry Francona. I do. Um, My only issue is I think a lot of people thought coming into this year, this Reds team kind of started to have a breakout last year, and it was kind of looked at like, okay, Tito's going to get them over the hump. This is going to be the year, and they've still kind of fallen in that same. They're kind of breaking out, but they're not area. So I think he's going to have that hurt him. But I think ultimately it's not going to matter. Pat Murphy's winning this award.
yeah,
And then for the AL, I actually have something different than you. I think AJ Hinch is going to win this award over John Schneider, who I think is going to be. I think it's going to be a good race. I think you can make arguments for both of them. I think either of them are good candidates. So I have no issue with either of them winning. Maybe I'm just a little partial to AJ Hinch. I used to watch him catch, so maybe that's me being that. But I think I don't think anyone had Toronto winning their division, but I also don't think, even though Detroit kind of made a run last year out of nowhere, I still don't think this is an amazing roster, and I think he's done a lot with it and taken them from surprise team to, hey, we're not a surprise anymore. We are a good baseball team, and we're going to be competing for a World Series, and I think that needs to take an account to it. So I have AJ Hinch winning it for the AL.
I won't be surprised if either one of them win. I will. This is the only award that I'm gonna give honorable mentions to slash like the potential other two finalists. I almost 100% see the finalists for the National League along with Murphy being McCullough and Rob Thompson, just because
Oh yeah,
they're
out of
gonna
Philly.
they're gonna need to give a third finalist spot to it, and I think no one else really deserves it that much, to be honest. And
Telling
then
you, it's gonna be freaking council.
I think for the American League, the finalists are going to be Schneider, Hinch, and Dan Wilson. And I think, like, because I do think the Mariners should get a whole lot of credit for what they've done. And I do think Dan Wilson should get uh, a lot of that credit too,
Yeah,
as much as managers normally get. Um, I just,
you got to have a third, and
yeah,
you look at the teams that have kind of overachieved there. The only other person that I think could get it, which feels weird um, for them being in this conversation, is Alex Cora, because at one point they thought he was going to be fired, and then he kind of turned the ship around and let the young kids play and started to figure it out, and here they are. You have them almost winning the World Series, so. I think he could potentially be a finalist over Dan Wilson, but I think those are probably your best bets right there.
he's going to win Manager of the Year. He's going to win the World Series, and then he's going to be
I was going to lose.
He's going to be the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals in
No, he's not.
2026.
No, he's not. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Ollie Marmol votes on Manager of
There's
the Year.
there's gonna be, and honestly, I think there should be. I think
He's done a great job.
he.
As much as people rag on him in
I
St.
can't
Louis,
believe you said Ali Marmol has done a great job.
he has. Like, look at what this team is, and look what he's been given. Like, people are like, "Oh, get rid of Ollie." Like, look at this team. Yeah, look at this team that the front office gave him. He's taken what he's got and what he's done with the bullpen after it's been completely gutted and using them the right way. Like, I do think he's done a good job, and I think how he responds to the clubhouse is somebody that the guys in that room respect. So I love the fieriness of him. So I'm always good with that. I just think a lot of people are like, get rid of him so we can have Yachty or Pujols, and I don't think Heimblum's going to do that.
Yeah, I think Ollie's definitely gonna get votes. If I had to guess, I do think Ollie is gonna be the manager for the Cardinals in 2026.
He will be.
And I also want to give flowers to his predecessor and the consensus World Series winning manager, Mike Schilt. I
Which
think
the Cardinals shouldn't have got rid of.
no, shouldn't have. I think
Philosophical differences. The philosophical differences is he wants to win, and Bowtie's a douche.
I truly do think Mike Schilt's the best manager in baseball,
He's so good.
and I think
When he
he won't
loses
win.
it, it's also my favorite thing.
He won't win, but he'll get votes.
He should.
What award do you want to go to next?
Let's do reliever. It's the next less sexy award.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the American League one because I don't think there's as much of a competition as
I
you
think there
think
is.
there
I
is.
think there's two guys,
I think my pick for AL reliever of the year is going to be Aroldis Chapman.
as is mine.
Okay, because
But I think Andre Munoz is going to get votes, and I think it's going to be closer than we think.
oh,
He's been very good.
I don't think it's going to be unanimous, but I think what Aroldis Chapman has been able to do after even going back a couple years with how his stint with the Yankees ended, with him losing the closer
See,
role,
okay, this is my problem with this whole
all this stuff.
conversation. This is my problem. I don't care about that stuff. This isn't an award of where did you come from and what are you doing now. This is an award of who is the best reliever this year in baseball
The
in
voters
your
do care
division.
about that though,
I
and
don't care though. Like that's
granted,
that's like all of that's stupid to me.
I
Like
don't
take
care,
the politics and all of that out of it. Who was the best reliever this year in baseball?
and
I do have Aroldis Chapman as my AL Mariano Rivera Award winner.
yeah, and
But
I'll
I do
say
think Andres Munoz should be very, very close in this race.
I don't care about all that stuff either. But right now, I'm looking at 37-year-old Aroldis Chapman, who
Again, I don't care about how old
in
he is.
57 and a third innings, 82 strikeouts, and a 1.26 ERA with 30 saves for a team that is
Do those
easily
same
going to be a playoff
stats
spot.
and give me Munoz.
Um, Andres Munoz, he in 57 and a third innings, 75 strikeouts, 30, so a little bit less, same amount of innings, I think. 35 saves and a 1.57 ERA. So they are close.
Like there, like you can make an argument for either one of those. So I don't want this to be like, oh, Aroldis Chapman blew everyone away. No, this is neck and neck. Like you could
But
vote for either, and I think it'd be a fair vote.
I think the crap that we don't care about, though, is the
Is what's going
reason
to
why it's
ultimately push
not
him over the
going to
top.
be as close as we think. I think
I think it
Andres
should be.
Munoz deserves his flowers. I think Aroldis Chapman is going to pretty easily win it.
I don't have any arguments with that because I also picked Aroldis Chapman to win the reliever of the year. But I think that all the crap aside, we're looking straight at numbers. Who has been the best reliever? I think there's a very strong case for Andres Munoz to win it. But because of the whole human factor and all that other stuff that goes into it, I think Aroldis Chapman will ultimately come out on top.
In the National League, I have a much different story. I could
I
honestly see,
don't like, I don't like the NLs.
I don't either. I could see three guys winning it,
I
and
have two.
I think I think Trevor McGill is a possibility.
I don't have him on mine.
The two people that I have it down to,
I think
I,
McGill will be third,
he
but I
is
don't.
also third on my list. I'm gonna say who I think should win it, and I'm going to say who I think will win it.
Let me guess. Let me guess. You think Robert Suarez should win it,
No,
but you think Edwin Diaz will win it.
swap those.
I have it that way.
I think Edwin Diaz should win it. I think Robert Suarez will win it.
I have the opposite. I have Edwin Diaz winning it, and I have Robert Suarez finishing second.
In 55 games
Diaz
this
has been
season,
lights out.
Diaz has been lights out. In 55 games, Edwin Diaz has a 1.88 ERA and 85 strikeouts in 57 and a third innings. I think Edwin Diaz is the biggest reason why the Mets are where they are right now.
He's the only trustworthy person in the back of that bullpen.
He is. And I would absolutely love if Diaz won it. When you
Doesn't
look
he have
at,
an opt out? I heard he might opt out.
I don't know if he does or not. I haven't paid more attention to the Mets than I need to.
Yeah,
Uh,
he has an opt out and is expected to opt out of his 5 year, $102 million contract. He's making over
with
$20 million a year, and he's going to opt out as a closer.
with how many more years left on the contract?
He's got like three, I think, two or three.
Robert Suarez has, as much as I love Robert Suarez, been he's probably the second best. I don't even know if he's the second best pitcher on that Padres in the Padres back end in that bullpen.
He's not.
Um, 65 games, 64 and two thirds innings pitched. He has 70 strikeouts, so more innings, less strikeouts. 3.06 ERA, so like kinda almost
The
double.
ERA is what's going to lose it for him. That and his record. He's like a 4-6 record with a 3.06 ERA, less strikeouts. Edwin Diaz should run away with this award. I don't think he will, but I do think he's going to get it. Because I
I
think when
think
people look at voting, and I hate voters, and I don't understand why certain people get votes. When you look at the voters, I think they are going to go for two things. One, the name. Edwin Diaz's name rings with everybody. And then they're going to look at the stats. And they're going to see, okay, Suarez had more saves, but then they're going to look at strikeouts. And then they're going to look at innings pitched. And then they're going to look at record. And they're going to be like, Edwin Diaz is better on all of these, except he had less save opportunities, so he had less saves. I think Edwin Diaz is easily the clear winner in the NL.
I hope you're right. I think the bull crap that we don't care about though is going to be what pushes Robert Suarez over because he's the closer. He's leading the league in saves and he's the closer of the best bullpen in baseball. And
But he shouldn't
narratives
even be their closer.
and narratives win every time.
I hope not because he's not as good. All right, let's go to Rookie of the Year. And I had a lot
Okay.
harder time with the NL Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Well, AL Rookie of the Year on three. Ready? Three, two, one. Nick Kurtz.
Nick Kurtz.
Yeah. What else do we need to say? The guy's
I think
played.
his betting odds are like 50,000 to 1.
Yeah, the guy's played 90-ish games, and he has 25 home runs. I
Tanks.
think 30 home runs coming up on.
I think the only person that's going to be in the voting besides him that'll get anything is going to be Roman Anthony. But he hadn't been up long enough to win anything. Like, Nick Kurtz has hit tanks this year, especially when he went on that one heater that we talked about. Like, that alone is going to
Four
win
homer
it.
his four homer game.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I mean, he had like a 10-day span where he's hitting like 1,200 OPS.
where is his team?
The
Uh,
A's at
yeah,
the bottom, probably.
I hate Major League Baseball's.
Well, because they don't. What are their initials with it? Like, are they Sacramento? Are they Las Vegas? Are they?
Well, they should
Um,
be at the top of the thing because they're the Athletics. It starts with
yeah,
an A. Nick Kurtz, 298 batting average,
awesome.
uh, 32 home runs. Uh,
Tanks.
so yeah, 298 batting average, 392 on base percentage, 628 slug. It is a 1.019 OPS,
Absolutely insane.
a
Absolutely insane.
177, a 177 OPS plus in 105 games at this point.
I'm not
Five
condoning gambling.
WAR
Yeah, I'm not condoning gambling for anybody. But if you wanted to gamble your
until
life
DraftKings becomes a
savings,
sponsor.
yeah, if you wanted to gamble your life savings, this would be the bet to make like $7 off of your life savings, because he's going to win.
Yeah, I think Jacob Wilson will get love too, but Nick Kurtz should run away with this award.
You're
Um,
hitting over 1,000 OPS with 32 bombs and almost 300 batting average. You are winning.
yeah, I think we named all the finalists though. I think it's going to be, and the only people that are going to get like significant votes
Roman
in the
Anthony.
top three is going to be Nick Kurtz, Roman Anthony, and Jacob Wilson. Um, okay, National League. I agree. It's very close. I think
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like any of them all that much.
I don't really either. I think my top two options right now are Drake Baldwin and Isaac Collins.
Ooh, I don't have either of them winning it.
Really? Do you have Miz winning it?
No. I have recency bias of being hot winning this. I have Cade Horton
Uh,
in Chicago, and I don't like the Cubs. I think he's pitched well this year, um, and I think he's gotten hot at the right time to help carry this team. I think ultimately that recency bias is going to help him pull this off. I
um,
also, Drake Baldwin was my second option.
yeah, Drake Baldwin's my pick to win. Um, I think he's practically taken over uh, Sean Murphy's job as the catcher for the Braves. Um, I guess Cade Horton's pitched a little bit more than I expected, so I could see him uh, getting some love with that. I just think Drake Baldwin has kind of had again the narrative all season. Um,
That's Cade
he's a
Horton, though.
catcher. He's a catcher who
You have Cade Horton, who is a rookie pitcher, who has started 20 games this season and is 10-4 with a 2.70 ERA.
yeah, I could see it. I'm not mad at it.
Like,
I am kind of
those
mad at
numbers
it, but
alone are solid, but then to get hot right now at the end of the season to help carry a playoff team and being their number one pitcher most of the time, honestly, right now. Um, I think he's putting his name in there at the right time to end up winning this thing, which would I would hate because then the Cubs get an extra pick.
yeah. Drake Baldwin. 268, 337, 439 slash line, 775 OPS. Comes out to a 117 OPS plus as basically the only good thing that the Braves have had going on this year in 112 games. Um,
Yeah,
it's not great.
no. I think the Braves is part of the reason this season has been kind of as big of a disappointment as it is. Like the Atlanta Braves should be in the playoffs. They should be one of the most exciting teams, but they can't stay healthy, and they're on pitcher number like 72 this season.
Isaac Collins has played great defense in the outfield this year, and he also has a 270, 368, 421 slash line, so a 789 OPS, 120 OPS plus.
I,
Um,
I like that over Baldwin.
he stole 16 bases, hit 9 homers in 124 games. I don't feel
I
good
think
about any of it.
I like I said, I don't like the NL for Rookie of the Year this year. I would much rather have Roman Anthony over here to win this one. Like just like I would like Chapman and Munoz to both have an option to win for reliever of the year because I like the AL's options both a lot more than I like any of the NL options.
I do really like Edwin Diaz.
All right, I think with that we need to move to the second most exciting award in my opinion, and that's the Cy Young winners. And honestly, I don't think I don't think it's exciting because I think both are going to be unanimous.
Yeah. I will say I think it was a lot more of a conversation before Zach Wheeler ended up getting his thoracic outlet syndrome diagnosis, and it's unfortunate because I don't want to see Paul Skeens win
He's winning it.
Cy Young. Um,
You can not like it all you want. He's the best pitcher in the NL. And there was a stat, if the Pirates had gave him what's it 3 or 4 runs per outing, he would be like 75-3. Like it's insane how good he's been, and he's gotten no run support.
yeah, I think his
If
career.
you want to parlay the Cy Young Award winners along with the Rookie of the Year winners to try and get like $13 instead of 7 on your life savings, that's what you bet on. Paul Skeens and Nick Kurtz because they're winning. There's
Yeah,
not a question of who's going to win. Can anyone push them? No.
Paul Skeens'
They've already decided.
career stats in
All right,
314
insane.
and two thirds innings, 21 and 13 record with a 2 ERA flat.
Yeah, that's stupid. Give the
Um,
man 3 runs, and he is dominant.
I think that comes out to about 10 and a half strikeouts per nine, with 30,
Filthy.
379 strikeouts and 314 and two thirds innings. This year he's 10 and 10 with a 2.03 ERA, 209 strikeouts and 181 and two thirds innings.
He is the best
Um,
pitcher.
the only thing that, and it's not questioning if he's going to win this year. He's got it under wraps. I still fear for his arm health, and I don't
Yeah,
know how long he's going to last in the
it's a
league.
lot of innings. It's a lot of high velocity. Um,
He keeps coming up with these weird blitzball type pitches that just go
yeah,
150 miles an
we'll
hour.
see. We'll see.
And he
But
hasn't
just
been
think,
pitching that long either. He
no,
was
just
catcher
think though, if like when Pittsburgh inevitably trades him to the Yankees, like how much talk would be
or
going on
Dodgers.
right now? Like it would be absolutely insane, like the amount of talk we would hear about the Cy Young. But because he's in Pittsburgh, we don't talk about it, even though he's filthy.
Yeah. Looking at the American League, I actually don't think it's going to be unanimous. By the way,
No, I think Garrett Crochet is going to get a couple votes.
I think Garrett Crochet is going to get a couple votes. I think Hunter Brown is going to
He'll be third
have
at
his
best.
flowers. Um, Hunter Brown is actually still fighting for the ERA title.
He's not going
Uh,
to win. It doesn't matter.
but yeah, I mean Tarek Skubal is going to win.
He is the best pitcher on planet Earth right now.
Um,
And I don't think it's particularly close. I said that months ago. I still believe that to be true now. And the only reason the Detroit Tigers have any chance of advancing in the playoffs is because of Tarek Skubal.
So as of right now, ERA, Scooble's 1, Brown is 2, Crochet 3. In terms of strikeout, which it's 226, 227, and 263. For strikeouts, Crochet is first with 240, Scooble's second with 224, Hunter Brown is third with 192. And then in wins, Crochet has 16, Scooble has 13, and Brown has 12. So Carrick Crochet has more of an argument than we're making it sound.
No, and I think he does have an argument. I think he will get votes. But when we're talking about Cy Young, the most valuable to their team, the most elite pitcher, I'm still taking Tarek Skubal.
I again think the narrative is going to be the reason why. Of his
I don't. I just think he's
back-to-back
the best
Cy
pitcher.
Youngs. Um,
MVP
oh,
time.
okay.
Which
National,
league do you want to start in? Which
National,
argument do you want to have first?
National League.
All right.
Because I don't think, as much as we're trying to make Kyle Schwarber a thing,
It's not going to be.
it's not going to be. I
It's
think,
going to be Shohei Ohtani again.
yeah, unanimously.
I don't know if it'll be unanimous.
He started pitching again.
I know. I
He
don't think it's going to be unanimous.
Today he hit his. Was it today he hit his 50th or earlier he hit his 50th?
I don't remember.
Or
I don't think
he
it's
doesn't have
today.
50 yet. I don't think.
I was
Does
going to
he?
say, I don't remember him getting 50, but it wasn't today.
He does have 50. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because as we were doing this episode, I saw Shohei Ohtani is the first person in MLB history to have 50 home runs and 50 strikeouts as a pitcher in the same season. Like that matters. Um, eh, Again, even if he didn't pitch, and even if Kyle Schwarber deserved it, narrative's going to rule.
Yeah, Ohtani's
I do
winning it.
think,
I originally wrote down Kyle Schwarber, but he's not going to win it. It's going to be Shohei. I
yeah,
don't like it, but you hit 50 bombs and you're able to pitch dominantly. Um, you're just going to keep winning it. And I think he's going to continue to win more and more.
they're both DHs, and when you look at their offensive stats, literally the only stats that Kyle Schwarber has on Shohei Ohtani is home runs and RBIs.
Yeah.
And home runs isn't even by that much. It's 53 to 50. RBIs is kind of a lot. It's 128 to 94, but no one cares about RBIs. Um, so
And
that,
RBIs means runs, so I care, but nobody else cares like they used to.
yeah. So that's that.
It's Shohei. Let's get to the AL.
Okay.
What did I say months ago?
You said that Cal Raleigh was going to be the MVP.
I said Cal Raleigh is going to be the MVP. What else did I say was necessary for him to win the MVP?
You said he needs to hit 50 home runs.
And you said what?
I said he needs to hit 60.
Or
Or Aaron Judge falls off the face of the earth.
you also said, before you said 60, because you changed that later, you said he needs to break the record. And he just did. I'm going to stick with exactly what I said months ago. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, is the AL MVP. I don't care what Judge did. Cal Raleigh, on top of being just as good offensively, plays freaking catcher with the best rotation in baseball. Aaron Judge can barely stand in the outfield. I don't think this should be an argument of who should win MVP. I don't think it's close. I think unanimously Cal Raleigh should win this. He has put up historical numbers. He has broken Mickey Mantle's record. One more home run, he breaks Ken Griffey Jr.'s record. He has 12 games or so to get 4 home runs, and I hope he does, just so that we stop this stupid argument that Aaron Judge should possibly win the MVP. Cal Raleigh is the only option to win the MVP. And I think if he were in the NL, I would say the exact same thing over Shohei. Cal Raleigh did historic things, and if you do historic things in a season, you should win the MVP.
So I think there's two reasons why Aaron Judge is still gonna win.
Are you picking him to win?
I'm picking Aaron Judge to win. Do I think Aaron Judge should win it? Probably not.
No,
I'm not even 100% saying he shouldn't. I'm
he
saying
should.
probably
I
not.
am. I'm saying Aaron Judge should not win MVP.
If you look, the reason why is because if you look at, and Baseball Reference hasn't updated it yet, so I have to look at MLB's freaking thing. Um, Aaron Judge is going to win the batting title this year.
Don't care.
He has a 326 batting average compared to Cal Raleigh's 247.
I think it's up to 249 after tonight, but
According, yeah, according to I'm going off of according to what the MLB app says, which I think they update it after every at bat. But uh, home runs, Raleigh has it 56 to 48. RBIs, Raleigh has it 118 to 103. Um, on
and
base
defensively and holding a pitching rotation, Cal Raleigh has it to being a DH.
on base percentage, Aaron Judge has it 451 to 361. Slugging percentage, despite having 56 home runs, Judge 676, Raleigh 590, because all he's been doing is hitting home runs. OPS, Aaron Judge, believe it or not, is having a historic season that no one is talking about because Aaron Judge does it all the time. Cal Raleigh has a 951 OPS this year. Aaron Judge has a 1.127. Those he is getting to Barry Bonds territory and he's doing it clean. To where I think we're getting to a point where Aaron Judge is just going to win as long as he's healthy. Also, if you look at WAR, Aaron Judge 8.3, Cal Raleigh 6.3. I think those things matter to the voters. Now, the fact that Cal Raleigh is doing what he's doing as a catcher is ridiculous. The fact that he just broke the switch hitter record, the home run record for home runs as a switch hitter is ridiculous.
Mickey Mantle.
He annihilated the record for home runs by a catcher because the record was 48. He's currently at 56. And there is still an outside shot that he breaks Aaron Judge's record for home runs, for the American League home run record, which is at 62. He will have to hit 7 in 12 games, so that is a lot.
He hit two
There's,
tonight.
yeah, and throughout the last 12, he'll have to hit another 7. So that's, I'm not banking on that.
I'm not betting against it though.
The reason why, another reason why is because even though he's doing this as a catcher, and even though what he is doing as a catcher for this pitching staff is extremely valuable and I think should be awarded with something. He won the Platinum Glove in 2024. He has graded as a below average defensive catcher in 2025. I don't know how that happens year to year unless he is solely focusing on hitting home runs. But I think that's going to play a part. And I think even though if I had a vote, I would vote for Cal Raleigh, I think Aaron Judge is going to win.
Let me say it one more time. The AL MVP will be Cal Raleigh. I had to listen to you rant about all the extra stuff that matters for all the other awards. This is the one where the extra stuff actually matters. I don't care about, oh, he's 37 and look what he's done lately and look what he's doing now. I don't care. The outside stuff should not matter. But when you're talking historic outside stuff of breaking records of people named Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr., it matters. And doing it as a catcher, again, I don't care what he's grading out right now. He's a good catcher. As you talked about before, he just won a Platinum Glove Award not that long ago.
last year.
And he's last year. And he's handling the best rotation in baseball, night in and night out. He is the MVP.
Again, I think he deserves it. I think Judge is going to get it. And you know what?
The
I'm
one thing
I'm
that he
also
has,
doing that to hedge my bets because I would rather be right. My options are either I am right or the person that I want to win the award wins the award.
you can hedge your bet all you want. If Cal Raleigh loses, I'm going live and flipping out. So just be prepared.
Okay, everyone, be prepared for November, whatever it is, when the
Cal Raleigh
baseball
is the
writers.
AL MVP.
Let me look at the date. Um, BBWAA award announcement dates 2025. I don't even know if these are announced yet, but uh, yeah, I don't think they are. So keep watch on when the Baseball Writers Association of America are announcing the awards this year because uh, you're gonna get a live from Cody about how mad he is that Aaron Judge.
Whether he wins or loses, I'm getting on. I'm either going to flip out that he lost, or I'm going to get on
You're gonna
and
flip
give you
out that
the
he won.
biggest big dumper shout out in the history of this channel. So, either way, be ready. Thursday, November 13th.
Thursday, November 13th. So we're about 2 months away from that, just about.
2 months away from Cal Raleigh being the AL MVP. You heard it here months ago.
Okay, well, we will see how many of our predictions come true. Um, we can't wait for the New York Yankees to win the 2025 World Series
Shut your mouth.
and for Hunter Brown to win the Cy Young and for all of our predictions, every single one of our predictions to be wrong.
Listen,
Uh,
Nick Kurtz and Paul Skeens are winning their awards. Like, we're not going to be completely wrong.
uh, that is going to be where we are going to leave it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Um, we are slowly but surely getting back in the swing of things. Like I said, I apologize for us being very inconsistent over the past few weeks. We're coming back and we're coming better than ever. Better than ever. Um, on my screen, he's pointing at nothing, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah, and
gonna
on my screen, I'm pointing at you.
so I'm gonna let that go. I think on theirs, you're pointing at me too.
Good.
But yeah, we're getting back in the swing of things. Better than we're gonna be better than ever. Uh, we have the MLB postseason coming up. We have the NFL in full swing. Hockey is gonna be starting up soon. Basketball is gonna be starting up soon. In terms of their seasons, we're gonna have episodes coming out for those very soon. Uh, Aaron and I haven't done an episode in a while. We're planning on getting back into that very soon. This is a great time for sports, and we are glad to be able to do this. And if you guys are watching this, are you watching us going through this, this crazy time in sports, and you are continuing to be loyal viewers to us, we really appreciate it. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you are listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, be sure to follow, be sure to download, be sure to give us a good review, um, do all that stuff. Cody, do you have anything else to say?
Cal Raleigh for MVP. See ya.
All right. On that note, we will see you guys next time.